Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday night, which means it's MYBC Virtual Bookstore Author Series night. We're 1 hour earlier because I am a member of the Seroptimus International de Langleys, and the first Tuesday of the month we have our meeting at 7 o'clock. So I dial it back an hour. So tonight I have the great pleasure to chat with Erin Sully. Erin, I know in reality, I have known Erin, I think for about 4 or 5 or 6 years now. Yeah, we both live in the same township. Are you in the city or the township?
I actually, during COVID, we moved to Surrey.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. You moved to Surrey. Yeah. We were in the same township, the township of Langley, and I was in Surrey. Well, you were where my office is. Yeah. And we are going to talk about his two-time. I knew he had one book, so this is exciting. I get to learn about his second book. And you know what this is all about, guys? It's learning about the craft of writing a book. It's learning about the creativity about writing a book, and also getting deeper into the process of writing a book, because we have a captive audience when we have the author present. So if you've got any questions for Erin, throw them into the comments. He's going to be watching the Facebook on his. Unfortunately, I can't on mine. So without further ado, hi, Erin. How's it going?
It's going well. Yeah, thanks for having me. Really, an honor to be here. Glad to share what I can to help everybody if they want to write their own book. I'm happy to share my insights and my knowledge from it for sure.
So tell everybody, like, what do you do? Like your day job, like what is Erin's life like before he gets into writing books?
I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a son, I'm a brother, and I have a full-time job as an account manager, and then I'm growing my coaching practice. Okay. I label myself as a mental wellness coach, and and I've been running the coaching practice pretty much since I met you. So the last 3 years or so, 3-4 years now. Yeah.
Wow, that's excellent. And so I know of one book. Is the book that I have on my table here the second or the first?
It is the second. Yeah.
Oh, so let's talk about the first.
Sure.
What's your first book?
So it's called 100% of What You Want in Life is Between Your Ears. And
seriously, is that all? It's just here?
It's in between your ears, yeah. So that was that came about because in high school I had a basketball coach, and he had this thing where he would, right before practice, we'd be stretching. All of us would be at the center of the basketball court doing our stretching. Somebody would be selected to lead the stretch. So we'd be doing our leg stretches or arm stretches and warming up. And he'd be walking around behind us, and he'd keep repeating to us that 100% of the game is between your ears. Right? And pretty much every practice, I'm pretty sure he kept telling us this, right? And then we'd be done our stretching, and then we'd be off doing drills and running around and scrimmaging and practicing our different plays and that. Never an explanation of what that meant, right? And for me, I thought to be successful in basketball, I had to run faster, I had to jump higher, I had to understand the plays, and there was a missing piece there. And everybody else seemed to, I don't know, just it was unspoken, but they seemed to understand what he was saying, maybe, because I struggled with because we were playing, at times we were playing pretty competitive basketball. We'd come down to Vancouver and we'd play these teams that are playing all the time. And we up in Williams Lake, I grew up in Williams Lake, so we were playing the old folks, like the men's league and the local teams that when we could, but we didn't have regular play every week like the teams down here. So I didn't understand. Like I struggled with anxiety around performing, and I made so many mistakes on the court and got yelled at so much because I didn't understand what's going on, right? And so over time, I started to, in high school, I was very shy. I was, introvert, and I just struggled. Like, is there something wrong? Like, I'm so nervous, I'm so anxious, and everybody else seems to handle the pressure just fine, right? And as I got out of university, or out of high school and into university, I was journaling a lot, and then it clicked what my coach was trying to explain to us. It took me that. Like, I didn't understand this whole mental side of things. I didn't, we weren't taught it in school like it is today. And then I just started writing stories about my experience in high school and some of the things that the lessons that I learned that were related to mindset, and mindsets become very, used a lot these days, and it wasn't as much. And so I thought, well, I want to write, I want to put all these stories together in a book. And I like the idea of tying it into what my coach said, around it being between your ears. Like it, and I think that, and that, the engage, connect, grow, it just takes it to another level in some ways, but also keeps that foundation there that, because at the end of the day, 100% of what you want in life being between your ears is really just a way to focus and put energy. It doesn't mean that it's everything has to do with it being in your mind. I think there's more to it than that. But if you put your energy in focusing on your mindset as a foundation, that is going to get you to where you're going to have additional perspectives and be able to see things differently that you're not able to see because things are getting in the way. Right?
So can I put you on the spot just for a second? Can you regale one of the stories that you captured within that first book?
Oh, there was one of them, it just comes to mind, was my friend and I called it With the Moves Day. So
with the what?
With the Moves Day. With the Moves Day.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, Trevor, and I, we play basketball at my backyard. My dad had set up a hoop for us, and one day we were playing. Every single shot we took went in, and we started just playing around with it. We're like, okay, I'm just going to throw something like totally obscure behind the back, and it would go in, everything. And so we labeled it. It was actually.
You wish you had a YouTuber at that time. You had a YouTuber capturing it the whole time, because I'm sure if you told the story to your family and friends, are like, yeah.
I know.
But
right?
Continue.
Yeah, back then was the big VHS tape video cameras, the Sony cameras, and that. So we weren't using it as much. Yeah. But yeah, so everything went in. And so we kind of labeled this day. It was in March. I think it was around mid-March. He knows actually the day. I can never remember the exact day, like March 12th or something. But it was With the Moves Day. So I use that story as a way to, show people that, or just have them reflect on it. Like, okay, so what's your With the Moves Day? Like, when are you in that zone? When are you in that mindset where everything is going according to plan? Because, and the thing is, we weren't thinking about getting the ball in the hoop. It was just going in the hoop because we were just having fun and that. So moving away from having everything be perfect and have everything be planned out and structured, kind of opened that up for me and recognizing that. Right.
I would say With the Moves Day for me is time almost stands still. When you're in the move or the groove, that's moving through the move and the groove, and you just look down and you're like, wow, that was an 8-hour day. Like, things just kind of moved into the next, moved into the next, moved into the next. And it was just like, I get in my car. It's like, wow, that was a really good day. So I'm going to start calling those days the Moves Day. I like that. I really like that. So where can someone find your first book? And then we'll get into your second book.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and it's just like an ebook, like a Kindle format. But I self-published that one myself back in 2013. So it's available on Amazon there. Really affordable. Yeah.
So if we got the cover of it, because guys, that I meet the authors when you go into the MYBC Consulting / Bookstore to that section of my website. I would say by the end of the year, but a good 90% of them, I've personally met them in reality or by Zoom to have their books up there. So if we can get the front cover and the little blurb, like your book is now, with the the URL to go buy it over at Amazon, I'd love to have it up there, because there are those people. I'm finding more and more people are reading on their phone, or they are watching television, but they're still reading a book at the same time on their tablet or something. It's crazy how we like to multitask. How many pages is your first book approximately? So
it's about 80 pages. It's a short one. Yeah.
Perfect. So get the little nuggets and apply them right away. So let's move on to your second book, because this one is a little juicier, as I like to say, a little juicy journal. That's what I'm nicknaming it. Yeah. And what prompted this book? Because this has got some pretty good stuff in this book.
Yeah, it was a lot of, like, I didn't know I was going to be writing it at first. I actually had all these journals because in university I started journaling more and more, just because I was having all these, negative thoughts, anxious thoughts, and I just was trying to I found when I got them out on paper and I wrote them out, I'm like, okay, it feels real in my head, but when I write it out, I can reflect on it better and understand what was actually real, be able to move through things better. And so I just continued to journal, and I kept my journals all that time. So I had, I think the latest in that book, I think is around 98 or 99, if I remember correctly, because I do share a lot of the journals in most of the lessons there. And so I had all these journals sitting on my bookshelf, and I said to myself one day, like, I was like wondering, okay, what if I lose these, right? What happens if?
Oh, okay.
And then at the same time, I was like, what if, there's got to be something here that somebody can learn from, right? There's all these lessons I've had over the years, and there's got to be someone out there that's, felt like I did, and was, I was a very sensitive guy, where I took things personally a lot, as I said, more introverted than that. And I thought there's somebody out there that can probably get something out of this. So I just started writing out each journal into a Word doc, not knowing what I was going to do. And as I started doing it, I had a different vision for the book. The book completely changed. How it looks now is not how I envisioned it.
Oh, okay.
And I was kind of just, I started to get a whole bunch of journal entries down, and then I started to look at, okay, which ones are more kind of positive, where I'm feeling really good, and life is feels like it's going in the right direction, and I'm doing all the right things. And then which ones are more where I'm kind of fear-based, right? Where I'm, my anxiety's high. Maybe there's something that's happened in my life, which, I'm struggling with. And so I started to organize them more kind of like positive journal entries, and a lot of them like are poems and that kind of that I wrote, and then more the fear-based. And I kind of was envisioning having a book where it was, okay, this is a fear-based mindset, when I'm struggling. Because I there was one little poem that I wrote, right? I mentioned how I think I say I speak when I'm up. I think I can't remember off the top of my head here, but the last line is I write when I'm down. So because I used the journaling a lot when I wasn't feeling very good, and so I had these. Okay, this is what it's like when I'm fear-based, and here's what it's like when a positive mindset is used, right? And how to use journaling to reflect on the fact that good and bad journal entries, it's all good. Like, it doesn't matter. And some had a lot of anger in them, some had a lot of sadness in them. Like, I was trying to articulate that there's feelings there, and it's okay to share that.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went through a divorce in 2012, and I was really struggling then. I was probably in the deepest, darkest depression that I was in ever, and I was in the basement of the townhouse that I was living in at the time, and this was a dark basement. Like, there was no windows down there. The cat that I had at the time liked to pee all over the place in the basement, so it just smelled like cat pee. There was boxes all scattered everywhere, and my computer was in the one corner, not very well lit. And I remember sitting there one night, and and I was journaling and realizing, okay, how do I want to move forward from here, right? Do I want to sit in this basement and be in the dark, like I have been doing leading up to this divorce? I was sitting in the basement in my head, really, or do I want to get up, and how do I want to move forward with this? And so it was a wake-up call for me, where then I put more energy into the book, and I committed to 20 minutes a day, where I would just take those journals out, write 20 minutes a day. It was actually Stephen Harper, of all people, that recommended that in an interview I heard about. It's amazing what some people you'll hear in interviews, and he just said he wrote his book in 20 minutes a day. So I'm not trying to articulate any particular view or any political view or anything. That's what I heard from him, and I thought, oh, that's 20 minutes a day. I could do that. And And so I just committed to that. In 20 minutes a day, and it was amazing in a month how much journal entries I had into that Word doc, right? And then
so let's go in. Yeah, if we can just pause here for a second, because I want to go into the title, Engage, Connect, Grow. And this is where it's probably the only book I've ever, journaling type book that I've ever read, the cover that says this: 52 lessons to guide individuals and corporate teams to the heart which truly matters. So there's I'd almost say there's a third parallel, if that makes sense, to this book. So explain to the parallel thought process, first of all, personally, then how you bring in me, then how you go that next step, because it's a very unique process. And when I met you, these many years ago, I just like gobbled up this in a big bad way and gave it away as gifts a couple of times to people that I know, and used it as door prizes. So explain that thought process, kind of the parallel, let's just say, of how the book is put together.
Well, that kind of fear-based and positive-based kind of having sections in the book kind of stayed within it, and that I separated into Engage. Because I ended up, my coaching practice is Engage, Connect, Grow, Engage Coaching Group. So I wanted to see if there's a way to use Engage in the title, and then also look at different aspects that I'm going to move people through when I'm helping them, right? So the Engage aspect is really at the end of the day, it's the wake up section. It's time to wake up, right? And it's the awareness section. I quote the definition of engage, and it's around, starting to take, engagement and action in your life. And so it's kind of like this section is about waking up and starting to get serious. Okay, I'm having all these negative thoughts. I'm having all these struggles. I'm not going to sit in them as a victim anymore. I'm going to actually just get curious as to, is there, what's actually going on here? Let's just put them on the table and say, okay, this is what's going on. I'm going to wake up to this is the reality. And then the connection piece is connecting with for me, it was with myself. So with a client, it's getting a better connection with self. So you think of from a self-love perspective, it's about, okay, what am I doing from a self-care perspective for myself? How am I caring for myself? How am I going to connect to me, of who I want to be? And then at the same time, how am I going to connect with others in my life? Do I want to connect with them where I'm always complaining about my job and my relationship and all the bad things that are happening? Or do I want to connect with people and get real, is where I could share that. I could say, I'm really struggling with what's happening at work right now. And I don't need your opinion about it or your thoughts. I just want to share, and I'm okay. I've got things, I've got support, and I can figure it out, but I'm just, I don't feel very good right now. Right? And that's, to be able to actually truly connect with somebody. And then the grow piece is taking action. So all the different lessons and ideas that I learned along the way around taking action. And a lot of this, some of these ideas came from the counseling program that I took through ClearMind, because the first year of the program is all about you. And then the second year is about service to others. And then the third year is about leadership. So I kind of structured the book similar to that in some ways. And then at the same time, individuals can do it, but I also put questions in there because my plan was to help corporate teams as well, right? Because I worked in the banking world and just saw that there was an opportunity for leaders to, and more leaders are doing this today, which is great. But there's an opportunity to get more authentic in what's happening, right? And to be able to bring the team to a place. It doesn't mean having like a counseling session or a big support group within the office, but it means that allowing people to feel safe. There's a lot of work around feeling safe in the workplace, and knowing that you can say something, you can say your opinion, and you're not going to get ostracized for it. You're not going to get reprimanded for it, because you're sharing what's real for you. So
it's just fascinating, and I'm going to share, because this is from lesson 2. And intention. I'm going to read this, and like your intention, you give the definition of intention. Then there's a journal entry. There's 2 journal entries, which is a really interesting concept to see how you engaged with yourself. You definitely connected, and then you grew. It's taken me many years to fully understand how to articulate my intention. Over the years, I've learned my goal or intention should be experience-based. What does it look like and sound like? It should not be a thing, but as a material object. It should be focused ultimately on what I'm seeking by having the material object. Your intention will always be something you come back to, especially when struggles arise and then decisions need to be made. You can remember where you want your focus to be, bring your intention there versus focusing on fear. Below, you read 2 very different journal entries and see the transition of my intention. This journal entry I wrote related to what I wanted in 1998. So here it is. I want to be recognized. I want to be heard. Can you see me? I'm over here. I want to be recognized. I want to be heard. I want to be recognized. I'm seen all over the world. I want to be recognized. I want to be seen. How hard can it be? What do I have to prove? How long does it take? I don't want to have to wait. I see my reflections, so for I'm real. Maybe I don't want to be recognized. Maybe I have been seen by me, and waiting should end, for I've been recognized by the most important person of all. Then journal entry from 2014. Here's another journal entry from my intention 16 years later. So boys and girls out there, this man's done some work. April 25th, 2014, 9:14 p.m. What do I want? My intention is to open my soul, mind, and body. Is truly what I want. Rest, peace, joy, loving relationship, family, authenticity, solid, openness, unconditional love, and freedom. And I'd like to share with you what I wrote, because my exercise was, you can start writing about your intention by writing what you want. Next, write about what you will be feeling and experience if you get what you want. Write the feeling, the experience as an intention or goal. Describe your goal or intention, a few words or a short sentence. Focus on the experience you want to have versus the thing, for example, peace and joy versus traveling to an exotic place. What is the thing you actually want in life? And Erin, did you not gift this book to me at least when we met 3 or 4 years ago? And this is when I started the book.
Yeah.
And this is pretty incredible. And I wanted to share it with you because you were a very integral part of something that happened in my life. I want to be on a world stage speaking about gratitude and abundance and all the bumps in that brings to your life. I can't read my own writing. I want to show a simplistic life is where the riches come to your heart and soul. I want to travel to the 4 corners of this world. So I wrote that, and thus went into a visualization with you and Frida Lombard. And all along that intention is come true. So when that's what I want, and that was that I put in your book like about 4 years ago. So I love the concept of this book. I love the fact it says 52 weeks. You're supposed to pull it out once a week and do it, but it's structured in such a way where I have put it down, for 6 or 7 months. I have picked it back up. And I think as my company grows and morphs, this section about the corporate side, the team side is so clear. Like the exercise for your team group, the group will share with each other individual messages they want to continue to say to themselves regularly. So kind of looping in and sharing. So I think it's a very timely book, guys, for what's going on in the world right now, is that we're so living, I guess the best definition I can go is like parallel. Like it's almost like we're living, well, no, it's the box. We're living in these boxes right now, and it's self, and you, me, them, the world. We're all in this box together. So, I'm your super fan of your book.
I appreciate it.
So any other, we're coming to the end, any other parting words that you want to say to people about this incredible special book that you took and authored for the world?
I would just say that if you're looking, like a lot of clients that come to me are looking for coping skills with regard to mental wellness, and actually you actually helped me with just articulating my mission is to enrich and support the mental wellness of 1 million people by 2026. So being in this interview on Facebook is allowing me to help me do that, and reaching people is fantastic. And I just encourage people, like, journaling is an easy thing to do. And the book isn't all about journaling. It's just kind of the foundation of it. But it's a simple thing that you can do and help you with your mental well-being in that. And just sometimes getting out anxious thoughts, angry thoughts, even sadness, and then happy, like joy and happiness, like just writing it out it can shift things, it can change things, and help you see different perspectives in that. Yeah.
It's guys, it's a really great book. And sometimes in journaling, you get stuck with the question, what the heck am I supposed to write? And you prompt, and just that prompt sometimes of having that question, and I can get it out. and it flows differently. So I'd like to very much thank you, my friend, for taking a piece of your heart, mind, body, and soul, putting it into words, binding it up so people can experience both your books. I look forward to seeing the first book, because I want to know, is it really all between here? I know it is, because what I think I do. And that was the purpose of this. I thought about this, and it's my way that I can help people is to bring awareness to these incredible people in my life that are authors. So thank you for having me. And I know we haven't had, I actually am not sure how to look at the comments, and I just tried to, but if there's anybody that had questions or anything during the interview today, happy to, you can share those with me, and happy to answer those. Maybe in the Facebook feed or something. Yeah. Perfect. So have a great evening, everybody. Tune in next Tuesday night. Just so you're aware, Aaron, I've got authors booked now until June 8th. Awesome. I'm super duper excited, because whenever anybody shares with me their craft, their art, it fuels my soul. So enjoy the night, everybody. And we will talk to you again soon on Facebook Live.